Oh, yeah.
Hello my gaming family and welcome. You have all probably heard of some indie game by now. Some of you may have already played one. With today's video, we are going to start a series about indie games you definitely need to play in 2020. Before we start, I want to thank you for all support so far. It means a lot. Our small gaming family continues to grow slowly day by day. One more time, thank you and love you all. Now, let's get back to topic. Often in the shadow of AAA games, some very good indie titles fail to reach their maximum. For some you have heard, for some you have not, but there is tons of cool indie games out there, and now we will mention some of them that are worth playing in 2020. First game is number 1 in my personal top 10 list. Outward is a fantasy survival open world RPG, developed by 9 Dots Studio. Outward is not classic RPG game we used to see in these days. In addition to all similarities, Outward stands out from other RPG games with some of its unique features. It is already very well known that in Outward you can't die. As a matter of fact, if you happen to be killed by NPC, one of 90 different scenarios will be put into effect. In other words, depending on how you die and who kills you, differently your respawn place will be. If you got ganked and killed by bandits while you travel to your quest location, you will be automatically respawned in some random bandit camp, and then you will have to find crate with all your equipment and sneak out of camp. So you must be careful, because your every decision will have certain consequences, and if you fail, you can't just go and load your last save, because Outward constantly autosaves your progress. Every lengthy trip across the map, and note that there are no mounts and fast travel in game, every purchase at vendor or skill upgrade at trainer, every decision in quest line, and every single fight is an event that needs to be very carefully considered and prepared for. So you must be careful, because failure may cost you something more precious than a video game life. It costs you time. Time to heal, to rest, to repair your gear and restock your supplies, to fill your belly with food and cure your illness with potions, to travel all the way back to the site of your defeat, to try again and possibly to fail again. Big part of Outward is about survival. Daylight itself is a resource, vital but limited. When night falls, darkness is heavy and impenetrable. You can use your lantern of course, but even then it's very difficult to orient and to see something further. And if you decide not to wander in the middle of the night and to set camp somewhere on the open, be sure there is always chance to be ambushed by bandits, animals or some other creatures. One very awesome thing that makes this game harder, but in the same time very interesting, is that you don't have quest markers on your map. First, you must listen or read carefully where to go. Second, you must use road signs or some objects from your environment to orient. And third, you must prepare yourself for the journey in case you get caught in ambush, or you need to travel at night or to cross to zone where, for example, temperature is much higher or smaller. Cause if you go with your, let's say, light gear to a place where it's very cold, you can get cold sickness and eventually die. Yup, in Outward, traveling and exploring are not easy at all. About combat in Outward. As everything in this game, combat is very nice but not easy and simple. Melee combat is stamina based and dodging is crucial. I don't say that for no reason. You must consider that when the game starts, and some time after that, all weapons you can afford are mostly not that good, and the weakest enemies do more damage than you at that moment. This is not type of game where combat looks like you are in god mode all the time, and you can just go around and slash everything. If you want to play Outward, you have to use your brain a little. And just to mention, you cannot spam dodge, cause stamina bar will go down and then you can barely move, which will result in, guess what? Yup, you must go from the start again. Magic in Outward is really unique and old school, I would say. Developers describes it as a ritualistic step-by-step approach to spellcasting. The most interesting thing about magic system in Outward, in my opinion, is that the most spells have to be combined with other spells to achieve some result. Of course, you have instant spells, but even those combined with some other spells are much stronger. Graphics, details, atmosphere and spell effects are absolutely amazing. Game world and every part of it is beautiful. And my advice, guys, pay attention to music in game, it's truly enjoyable. So, Outward is definitely worth playing in 2020, but if you think it is one of those games you can jump in for a few hours, then you need to think a bit. This game doesn't ask for your skill or for your experience, it only asks for time. If you decide to give your time to this game, I promise you that you will not regret it. Also, if you're able to play it with someone in co-op, do that definitely, that's my advice. Game have split screen option, so in these days of quarantine, you and your friends will have plenty of time to invest in this game, and trust me, it will pay off. That would be it for the first video in series about indie games that should be played in 2020. I hope that this review was helpful. I would love to hear your opinion on this game, so feel free to write it in comment section down below. A like and subscribe would be of a great use, and don't forget to smash that bell icon so you don't miss the future content. You can also find me on social networks, and you can consider supporting this channel on Patreon, if you like, of course. All links are in description. I'm Baldard and you are in a place where everything is about gaming. Until next time, see ya and stay cool.